Hey, welcome back to Mind Your Money. This is the final video of the How to Budget series where I'm going to share with you how I close out a paycheck budget and prepare for a new one. So we talked about closing out in the last video, so I don't have to go over that with you. I shared with you this little envelope that I used to pull out some of the cash we use from our budget. I also shared a little bit of pre-planning. I used this notebook to brainstorm how much I want to put aside for every paycheck in the month of January. And it doesn't always go exactly as we pre-planned it, but that's okay. Once I've done the pre-plan, once I've set up my spreadsheet, I go ahead and look at my budget by paycheck worksheet in this simple budget workbook. Now, all that I did was pulled out my calculator and I started putting in the numbers based on what I know is coming in and how much of it can we use this week. So I budgeted for $705. All I did was start with my pre-plan, take out my calculator and do some quick calculations. I know we need to give. I know how we're giving on the back end, so we're going to give $60. And then I figure out my savings like this. This is probably, I don't know if it's going to sound complicated, but what I like to do is I'd like to say whatever amount that we're using from our income, at least 500 of that is going to be split between giving, paying whatever bills are due in that week, and then also putting money aside for future bills. Okay? So $500 needs to be split up that way. So at least the rest of the money, whatever's left over, is going to go to cash expenses and then also any other places where we need or want to save or invest or spend it. Okay? So $500 is what I looked at first. And I said, okay, well, we need to give at least this amount. And then I know what bills are due because I took a look at my monthly calendar. Okay? This is how I'm pre-planning. This is how I'm setting up the budget by paycheck. And then I see if I'm budgeting for the paycheck that we will receive on the 20th, there are two bills due that week. We have Allstate and we have Metro PCS. I know how much we budgeted for, so that has to fit within that first $500 that I plan to use, okay? And then I go back to my budget by paycheck worksheet and I start, and then with my trusty calculator, I figure out how much of that $500 is going to be split, is going to be sent to next month's bills. Well, we came up with $269. So if I had 500, I know that giving is 60. And then I know that my bills are $135 and $36. So I subtract the 135 and I subtract the 36. And that left me with $269, which is how I came up with this number right here. $269. I know that my top priority for the month and for each paycheck is going to be next month's bills and the emergency fund. So I have to put at least $50 towards the emergency fund. And how did I get that number? Well, I took a look at our monthly budget and what did I say I wanted to do? I wanted to put $100 towards my emergency fund. But we are in the midst of very high inflation, and we're pushing as hard as we can, my husband and I, to get to that emergency fund. So if you have a savings goal and you see the opportunity to put more money aside, that's okay. I'm not mad at being over budget for saving for our emergency fund. I wouldn't be mad at saving more for next month's bills either, because it's good to be ahead of your bills and it's good to have a security blanket or a cushion like an emergency fund. So, oops, I went too fast. So then I'm going to take a look at that emergency fund and I'm going to look back. Previously, we put $50 in the second paycheck and then we put $50 in the first one. So we've already satisfied for the month, but I want more, and that's okay. So I'm putting more in the emergency fund now that I have the opportunity to. And we're getting a head start on not just February's bills, but March's bills too, by putting some more here. So that's how I figured out the savings. That $269 out of the $500, it's split between giving, next month's bills and current month's bills being paid. So now let's do this. We started with $705. I subtracted $500 between giving and bills. I have $205 left. How am I going to split that up? I go back to my monthly budget to see what have I missed. Is there anything that I haven't done yet? Well, our purpose funds, we haven't saved for them yet this month, and the goal was $200. I may not be able to put a large amount this week, but I want to put something. And then I start to think about what's most important right now, or what's coming up that I want to take care of. Christmas is obviously not coming up. We're just out of Christmas 3 weeks ago. We're only halfway through January at this point, but it's good to start early. And every small amount, if you do it consistently over time, adds up. So I'm going to put $10 into Christmas. I know we have a special event in February and we're in January. I want to get a head start on it. So I'm going to put $10 aside into gifts because we want to give something, right, in that month. Clothing, because I have 3 boys, they're always growing, they always need something. So let's put $10 there. So I just chose $30. It could be more, but I'm still within that $205 that I have remaining. So I subtract that 30 and now we're at $175. And so I know that I want to pull out cash. This is important to me. It's important to have, we have to do laundry every month. This is mandatory so we can run our household well. Household, we need different things. Spoons, because spoons are always disappearing. So I might have to buy plastic spoons. I might have to buy new tissue, bathroom tissue, facial tissue, anything. And I want to make sure I have money there. I'm doing savings challenges because it's fun. We're debt free. We don't have any of our money going to pay for past expenses. We're not paying back the credit card. We're not in credit card debt, okay? We always zero out the balance before the end of the month. We don't have any loans. We don't have car loan. We don't have anything going to debt. So let's have some fun doing some cash savings challenges. And then, of course, if there's anything extra that I could put towards another envelope that's helping us save for the future, or just be have like mini emergency funds kind of, then I want to put that money aside. So I'm taking $110 out from the bank from this income that we're budgeting just to do these things. Okay, so that's why, that's the why. And then I already accounted for the bills. Now groceries, this is where we have to be more strategic. We had $15 left over. If I did it right, I think I did it right. Okay, my math was a little bit off, but let's say after the $705, I took $500 out for bills. I'm left with $205, right? So we take $50 from the emergency fund. That's how much we're saving. $30 for purpose funds, $110 in cash. That left us with $15, which is why I allocated $15 to groceries. Now, here's the thing. We were able to stock up over the last several months, and we have more than enough food to take care of our family. So I know this is a very small amount, but we also have been blessed with gift cards. We've been blessed to have me as the CFO, and I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, to make sure that we have what we need and we're not buying in excess, okay? So we have plenty of things in our pantry, and I'm shopping that first, and then I'm going to stick within this budget. And again, we've learned to use our credit card responsibly. So you may not, maybe you're watching this and you're not in the position where you can use your credit card in the way that I am, okay? But if you want to get there, the simple things that I did, I had a bonus one year from my job, and I took that bonus and I paid off the last remaining credit card debt that I had. And since that time, I made up in my mind that I was going to use that credit card responsibly. And because of that, they upgraded my card. It started giving me perks like points, cash rewards, air travel, hotels, all those sorts of things. And I mostly use it for the cash rewards right now because I know that I'm budgeting out all of our bills. I pay our bills with the credit card, collect the cash rewards, and I can use that for other expenses. I can use it to lower the bill. I can request a physical check and use that money to pay for things like groceries or pay for things like household items. You know what I'm saying? Or pay other bills with it. So that's one of the hacks that I've learned to use, keeping it very simple. I'm not, signing up for credit cards left and right. We have 3 major credit cards, and then we have 2 store cards in our household between myself and my husband. So we're keeping it very minimal, and we're being very intentional about how we use it. We're not always perfect, but this is why, again, I'm explaining why groceries is the way it is. If you have to cut costs somewhere during this time of high inflation, do the best you can. Again, I mentioned the cash rebate apps, and if you can use your credit card responsibly and get the cash back, then go ahead and do it. If you can't, then you find other ways. There are other ways like bottle returns. You can sell things in your house that you're not using on Facebook Marketplace, on Etsy even, on so many other apps that I'll probably list down below or I'll put on the screen because I can't remember the names right now. But there's so many ways to earn a little extra here and there so that you can take care of things that are necessary for your family. Don't think that it doesn't work, because it absolutely does. And I'm trying to show you through this series that it does. So that is how we set up for a new week. I also have challenges that I'm doing for different savings, for different purposes, like Mother's Day, paying back ourselves, right? This is my Save My Hourly Rate challenge. I took a portion of my husband's hourly pay and I'm saving that each week to buy back some time, okay? Think of it of like a PTO. And then Love Evolves is for Valentine's Day. I'm saving ahead of time. So I'm taking every precaution I can to make sure that when these holidays come up, my kids don't have to not have because I didn't save up in time. We can do something fun with them. And every little bit makes a difference. Every small amount makes a big difference. And now that I've set up my budget by Paycheck, I would go back again and start over. Like I said in the very beginning of this series, I track expenses daily. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes to go through your bank statement, go through your online banking system, check your transaction history to make sure bills were paid that should have been paid, income came in like it was supposed to, and then keeping a record on your expense tracker. That's how I do it for the credit card and then also for the bank account. So I know what money is moving around and what needs to be paid. All of that is extremely important to be able to mind your money, simply manage it well, and you can build wealth starting right here with a budget. So I hope that this video has helped you. I hope that this series has helped you in any way. And if it has, please make sure to give me a thumbs up on this video. Comment down below what you thought about it, and make sure that your subscription is accurate because YouTube sometimes pulls subscriptions away. I want you to make sure your bell notification is on because I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon and I wouldn't want you to miss out. Thank you so much for being here. Continue to mind your money, you guys. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now.